long ago, when the pyramids were still young. This is like 2004. A mushroom-looking fellow and his maid-obsessed friend released a visual novel called Fate Stay Night. Now, there was this particular aroma surrounding the game. What is that I smell? Holy shit, we're fucking rich! Fate was an immediate success, and people lost their minds over it because the game was fire. It told this action-packed magical story with a diverse cast of well-written characters, plot twist out the wazoo, and sex! That part got cut in subsequent versions of the game. So anyway, Type Moon saw that Fate was booming, and they went, "Gimme money, gimme money, gimme money, gimme money, gimme money." Ala kerblam, far too many canon spin-offs were then born. I'm talking boom, 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 boom. Fate Stay Night was the catalyst in creating one of the most iconic and lucrative franchises to come out of Japan. The big problem nowadays is that the decades worth of content has piled up on top of each other, and to literally anyone looking in, they see an intimidating mess. It's really no wonder why people have clowned on getting into Fate so hard, cause like, why would you even do this to yourself? Well, you know, it's like really good. This series is unlike any other out there. It's one that takes so many tropes of the modern fantasy and flips it on its head to create a clever, compelling human set of stories that you're not gonna wanna miss. Now, I get it's confusing. I get you don't know where to start, so let me help you out with that. Today, I'm gonna tell you exactly what Fate is, why you should care about it, and where you can start. I'll even give you a personalized way of getting into the series depending on your schedule. Now, let's not waste any more time here and get to the biggest question you probably have right now. When the hell is Fate? The Fate series was created by Type Moon in 2004 and follows this massive reoccurring event called the Holy Grail War. In it, 7 mages duke it out in an attempt to obtain the Holy Grail, a magical device that can grant any wish imaginable. In this battle of life or death, each participating mage has to summon one servant to fight alongside them. Now, these aren't just some McDonald's toy-ass familiars, no, these are spirits. Legendary, heroic spirits from history. It can be anyone from King Arthur to Alexander the Great, or even... sorry about that. What was I saying? These spirits are summoned into one of 7 classes: Archer, Lancer, Rider, Assassin, Caster, Berserker, and Saber. Instead of using their real names, the servants will generally go by one of these titles during a war. Hence the reason why everyone knows our cover girl as Saber. It's not her name, just a title, but I digress. Once summoned, each master will form a contract with their conjured servant and fight together. The spirits take orders from the mages and protect their lives at all costs, because if their master dies, then they too will disappear. There are a couple more little rules to it, but that is the base gist of it. All in all, the last pair standing in a war is the winner, which grants both the servant and the master any wish they desire. My wish would be, it would be so together we would. A version of the Holy Grail War is at the heart of every Fate storyline, and once you understand that, you can get to the real meat and potatoes of the series. The one that started everything, Fate Stay Night. In Fuyuki City, the 5th Holy Grail War is about to commence, and for the talented mage Rin Tosaka, everything seems to be in place for her to win. She recently summoned the mysterious Archer class servant and is in a great position before the competition starts. I'm sure nothing weird's gonna happen. Wait, what's that noise? Oh no, it's Shiro the Hero Emiya, aka our main protagonist. Now, Shiro has no idea what a Holy Grail War is, but there is one thing he does know. He is gonna become a hero of justice. Using his epic magecraft, this dude is gonna save so many lives. Shiro, show me what you can do. Okay, so it's a work in progress. After being the sole survivor of a national tragedy and accumulating a lot of survivor's guilt, Shiro promised his dying father that he'd become a true hero. But right now, he only knows how to harden objects. Looks like he's got a long way to go. I'm so sorry. Now, one random night while at school, Shiro sees something weird outside. These bright lights and strange figures clashing at breakneck speeds. So, being the hero of justice that he is, he thinks to himself, fuck this shit, I'm out. And he's dead. He's dead. What now? Now, right before this happened, Rin and Archer were fighting in a battle with Lancer on school grounds. But right in the middle of the fight, they noticed that someone was watching. And since Magecraft is supposed to be kept secret from the Muggles, Lancer says, okay, you're dead. Since Rin feels bad, she decides to go investigate the dead body, and no, it's Shiro! Oh, fuck, I like Shiro, damn it! Alright, I'm gonna revive him anyway, even if he's not a mage. So by the power of plot armor, Shiro gets miraculously revived and runs the fuck home, only to be met once again by Lancer. Cornered in his tool shed with nowhere left to run, all Shiro can do is pray that it won't end here, cause it can't. He still has to save people, that's the only reason he survived back then. If he dies now, it'll have all been for nothing! And right then, in an instant, she arrives. In his desperation, Shiro accidentally summoned the strongest servant, Saber, thus solidifying his place in the upcoming war, and much like us going through it, he still has no idea what is happening. Luckily for him, Rin was around the corner, and upon finding out that he's a mage, she decides to help him. Thanks to her, Saber, as well as this devious priest, Shiro learns about the Holy Grail War, and it's worse than he could have ever imagined. Not only did the last war cause the tragedy which destroyed his life, but also his father fought in that very same battle. So determined to ensure no travesty like that happens again, Shiro joins the fight alongside Saber to obtain the Holy Grail. Except Shiro doesn't want to kill anyone, and he doesn't want Saber to get hurt, and he's also stupidly weak. So, is everything gonna be okay? Oh shit. Out the gate, Fate Stay Night sets the stage perfectly for the story it wants to tell. Rather than immediately going all out on its more fantastical sides, it grounds us in what a normal Fuyuki city should feel like. It's got bright lights, the backgrounds are lively, the characters are full of life, even the music just emanates this upbeat, peaceful feeling. While the idea of the Holy Grail War is lingering in the back of our minds, you don't really know what that even means. It's only after we've become accustomed to this world and developed that base attachment that shit starts to get real. As soon as you actually see the Holy Grail War, the gravity of everything really starts to sink in. Whether that be seeing our main characters facing near-death experiences on a daily basis, or looking upon the countless innocent lives caught in the crossfire, it all starts to feel real. This isn't just some secret battle between mages, it has terrible ramifications on everything surrounding it. The city becomes silently engulfed in flames, gradually spreading a sense of unease in the public, and suddenly, the way you've been viewing the story changes completely. Now you don't know where the narrative is going next, who might die, or what someone might do, and by this point, fate will already have you wrapped around its finger. As the plot only continues to ramp up, these characters are what will pull you in even further. Name a character who went through more pain. It's okay. I'll wait. Oh no. Having a flawed cast of characters is the basis for a great storyline, and here, everyone is super duper not okay. Shiro's got his survivor's guilt, Saber's got her crippling regret, Rin's lost like everyone she's ever loved, Archer has been betrayed by everyone in life, and Sakura. Good lord, somebody please help this girl. You could go down the list of each character in this storyline and unravel a deep human backstory that contextualizes their place in the narrative. Fate isn't the type of series that puts all of its marbles into one overpowered character, but instead it concentrates on making everyone feel believable in the middle of an unbelievable situation. And it succeeds in doing that. They all have well-crafted and differing reasons for wanting the Grail, which makes getting invested in them a lot easier. Honestly, you'll get to points in the story where you're praying that our main character's quote-unquote enemies won't die because you end up wanting to see more of them. Like at first, I didn't give a shit about Castor or Ilya, but both play important roles in the story, both have deeply realistic desires, and wait, why the fuck do I actually like them now? It's quality. They're all written with quality. If the story were told from pretty much anyone else's perspective, it could still be just as engaging. Case in point, the prologue is told from Rin's perspective and not Shiro's. Having your story be led by people with compelling backgrounds and personalities allows every step we take to feel interesting. The way they interact with everything breathes so much life into this tale, and the story is designed in a way so that we get to see every side of them. Okay, not what I meant. Again, like I said at the start, Fate Stay Night was originally a visual novel, specifically one with multiple routes and wildly different endings. Saber's path was iconic and is a staple among fans, Rin's route, Unlimited Blade Works, was my personal favorite, and Sakura's shit scared the piss out of me. I'm bad with horror, I'm a little bitch, but I still loved it. You get to explore each way the story could play out, venturing into other parts of the world that you didn't initially see. Any character who felt underdeveloped would get love in a different route, showing us new sides of their personalities, and for the characters you already liked, you'd fall in love with them even more, or despise the ones you hate even further. Every route provided a fresh outlook on the series, and once you completed all of them, they'd come together to paint this incredible picture. That was the magic of Fate in the beginning. Because every route is canon, they all matter just as much as each other, which is so rare to see from a popular IP. And because of that, people couldn't get enough of it. Fate Stay Night ended up with a lot of anime adaptations, a sequel game called Fate Hollow Ataraxia. It takes place at the end of all three timelines, don't worry about it. Then Fate Zero came along, which is a prequel novel that became a really great anime. After that, a few decades go by, blah blah blah, there was some magical girl stuff, Nazis and traps, some really confusing shit, slice of life, and the gacha game. I'm taking a break from that one. As you can probably tell, this is how shit started to get out of hand. This was an infinite money glitch, and while all these titles had a similar level of quality to the original product, it accumulated in what is a terrifying mess to get into. Which brings us all the way back to our most pressing issue. Where do I even start? Well, the simple answer is Fate Stay Night, but there's a little more to it. Bear with me for a second. Like I said before, Fate Stay Night had three main routes. The Fate route where you romance Saber, Unlimited Blade Works where you date the goat Rin, and Heaven's Feel where you get with Sakura. You are intended to play them in that order because each subsequent route spoils the other. Heaven's Feel assumes that you've played Unlimited Blade Works, and Unlimited Blade Works assumes that you've played the original Fate route. So for each method that I give you, I am generally following the order the game would want you to go in. Now that that's out of the way, I give you my three methods for getting into the series, all depending on how much time you have. Numero uno, the casual anime-only method. This one is designed for those of you who want to watch some anime and don't want to think too hard about it. You probably skipped to this point in the video, and I respect you. First, you're going to start with the Unlimited Blade Works adaptation by Ufotable, then the Heaven's Feel movie trilogy, and after that, you watch Fate Zero. That is a total of 51 episodes and 3 movies. Once you've done that, it's open season and you can watch whatever else you want. Now, just a quick warning, you need to watch the Unlimited Blade Works prologue. It is technically episode 0 and provides some much needed context. That comes first. If you're watching it on Crunchyroll, it'll already be included under season 1. However, if you're a sailor of the 7 seas, be wary, traveler. This method is great and simple for getting into the series. If you don't want to go beyond the anime, this is the best way to do it. You're gonna have a great time. Ufotable did Demon Slayer's animations, and the production value here is off the charts. All in all, a very good way of getting into Fate without sinking too much time into it. Now, if for some reason you're wondering about Saber's route, you don't get that one, because nobody has actually animated it properly. Fate would actually be a million times easier to recommend if its clear starting point had a good adaptation, but it don't. Studio Dean made a version of it in 2006 that's just not the route because it spoils everything. The writers essentially said, I'm gonna do my own thing, resulting in an anime that the entire fan base shuns. So unless you read, you ain't getting Saber stuff, and if you're trying to get into the series casually, that's honestly okay. Unlimited Blade Works is still a perfect starting point. Now, if you do want some Saber action, we got the next method, numero dos, the hybrid method. This one, I have invented. Or it's more likely that I'm just Christopher Columbusing this shit, I don't know, whatever. Basically, this version will have you play or watch the first route of the Fate Stay Night visual novel. After that, you'll watch Ufotable's Unlimited Blade Works, and then the Heaven's Feel movies. Once you finish that up, we're gonna take a quick detour, and you're gonna go on YouTube to watch something called Fate Last Episode. I'll link it in the description. The reason I say to watch this is because it's Saber's true ending, and you don't get it unless you unlock all main endings from the visual novel. This will save you a lot of time. Instead of spending like 60 plus hours, you can spend about 15 or so on one route. When you finish that, you can watch Fate Zero, and boom, that's the strat. Here's a visual to make it easier. Overall, I think this is a really good method because it encompasses balance. You won't be spending a gargantuan amount of time on the visual novel, but it'll give you a nice taste of some more in-depth storytelling and character development. On top of that, you'll get access to the one route without an anime, and it gives you a really nice arc surrounding Saber. If you want to play the game, you can buy Fate Stay Night Remastered on Steam or play it on Switch. If you have no money, you can play the browser version, however, I personally recommend going for the remastered one. Either watch it or buy it when it's on sale, because because it's just a better experience. To close off, this is a pretty complete method, and it's the most complete you're gonna get unless you do numero trace, the traditional method, aka just read the visual novel. This is the route that I went on because I had no clue what to do, so my brain went, fuck it, just consume as much as possible. This one will give you the best understanding of Fate, and you're gonna get to see all of the cast at their best. The only caveat here is that it'll take you a while. And that's it. So let me get into it now. Here, you're gonna play all routes of the visual novel in order. You can use a guide if you want. Those are pretty easy to find. Again, I'll link one in the description for you. Once you've done that, you can watch Fate Zero. If you feel like being a little extra completionisty, you can watch the case files of Lord El Meloy, then watch Unlimited Blade Works and Heaven's Feel. If after that you still want more, play Fate Hollow Ataraxia, the sequel visual novel to Stay Night, which just got a remaster. It's on Steam and Switch. Now, once you finish that up, congratulations, you understand more than enough Fate and you can live your life, cause holy shit, you just spent over 100 hours on this. Go touch some grass, have a shower, soak it all in, my friend, cause you have earned it. Or you can keep going. Cooking with the Amiya family was my first pit stop after everything, and it's a really chill time. But to be frank, go wherever the fuck you want. If you find a piece of Fate that looks interesting to you, give it a shot, because there are some really cool spin-offs out there. Anyway, here's the final chart of the stuff I just said. It'll give you a very complete look at the series, and wait. No! Leave me alone! Ah! Ah! When it's all said and done, Fate is a franchise with twists and turns that may at times make you scratch your head. But if you can get past that, there are worlds of adventures waiting for you, filled with characters that emanate a very particular kind of realness, which is pretty rare to see. Personally, I was not expecting to love this franchise as much as I do now. You know, the only reason I got into Fate was because I jokingly said I would at the end of my One Piece video like 2 years ago, and now it's become one of my favorite series of all time. My final argument for Fate is, like always, to just give it a chance. Don't think too hard and try to have fun with it, because this really is one hell of a ride. Alas, I've said my piece about Fate, so now it's time for me to get to some real business. And relapse. I'm going all in, baby! Woo! Subscribe, I make a lot of content here, and it helps me keep making these videos. I hope you enjoyed today's video about Fate, because I had a lot of fun making this one. Hopefully I did a decent job in selling you on the series. Fate fans, you can let me know how I did. Anyways, that's all I've got for today, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Take care now.